Khamzat Chimaev created waves online after referencing Khabib Nurmagomedov in a new Instagram post that caught the attention of the entire MMA community. Chimaev shared a photo of himself alongside imagery symbolizing Khabib and accompanied it with a powerful caption that instantly sparked discussion. He wrote, "The wolf and the eagle are not always close, but when you need to protect the mountains, they will always protect them together." This statement immediately triggered speculation about whether Chimaev and Khabib are hinting at unity, respect, or a potential collaboration amid recent developments in the MMA world. The caption was short but layered with meaning. Chimaev compared himself to the wolf and Khabib to the eagle, acknowledging that both represent dominant forces in their own right. His message suggested that although they may not always appear side by side or share the same training environments, their connection remains strong on a deeper level. The metaphor of protecting the mountains was interpreted by many as a reference to their shared heritage, pride, and loyalty to the region and the traditions they come from. It implies that when something important is at stake, they will stand together without hesitation. The post comes at a time when both fighters are constantly being discussed in the media. Fans have debated their relationship, especially as their careers have taken different directions. Chimaev continues to fight actively and build his legacy, while Khabib remains in retirement and focused on family and coaching. Some believed there was distance between them due to the differences in their paths and public comments in recent years. However, this post appears to send the opposite message. Chimaev's statement suggests respect, unity, and acknowledgement of Khabib's influence and stature. The MMA community reacted immediately. Fans interpreted it as a symbolic message of alliance within the sport, showing that despite personal journeys, both men represent strength, power, loyalty, and the warrior mentality their culture is known for. Some questioned whether the post hints at Chimaev training with Khabib's team in the future or preparing for something significant. Others saw it simply as a reminder of mutual admiration between two fighters who share the same spirit, even if they do not always walk side by side. Regardless of interpretation, the post succeeded in delivering a strong narrative. Chimaev chose words that were poetic, emotional, and strategic, reminding everyone that legacies in combat sports are not only about victories but also about honor, loyalty, and identity. For many fans, seeing Chimaev publicly acknowledge Khabib in such a meaningful way served as a powerful reminder that the connection between the wolf and the eagle remains unbroken. Many fans and analysts were eager to see how Islam Makhachev would perform in his welterweight debut. Some argued that he was too big for the lightweight division and that 170 pounds should have been his natural home all along. Others worried that moving up would expose him physically, suggesting he might be undersized against true welterweights. When he finally stepped into the octagon against Jack Della Maddalena, the debate changed instantly. Islam did not look smaller than Jack in any way. Instead, he appeared stronger, fuller, and more powerful than at any previous point in his career. The fight reflected that physical transformation. Makhachev took down and controlled Jack without resistance, applying a level of wrestling and strength that Maddalena had never encountered before. Jack had previously stuffed takedowns from natural welterweights, yet Islam blended strength with flawless technique and neutralized every aspect of Jack's game. From the opening exchange to the closing moments, he maintained complete control. The dominant performance strengthened the narrative that Islam had been physically overwhelming at lightweight and fueled claims that he had been cutting too much weight. Joe Rogan contributed to that narrative in past podcast discussions. He suggested that Islam was never truly a 155-pound fighter and criticized the weight-cutting system that allowed him to compete there. Rogan described Islam as huge, questioning how he ever made 155 and estimating that his natural walk-around weight was around 190 pounds. He called the weight-cutting practices silly and outdated and said he had discussed overhauling the weight class structure with Dana White and Ari Emanuel. His comments circulated widely at the time and were referenced repeatedly leading up to Makhachev's move to welterweight. After claiming the welterweight title, Islam was finally asked directly to respond to Rogan's earlier remarks. Makhachev dismissed the claims respectfully but firmly. He explained that Rogan's comments did not reflect the reality of modern fighters cutting to 155. He said that most lightweight competitors walk around at roughly 177 to 178 pounds. He pointed out that throughout his lightweight career, he avoided late-night eating, stayed away from sugar, and did not drink soda. According to him, his natural everyday weight was around 180 to 182 pounds at most, and he emphasized that he never followed extreme dieting or weight manipulation. Makhachev's response was intended to show that his lightweight cut was far from unhealthy and that his success at 170 was not evidence of oversized weight manipulation, but rather the result of skill, discipline, and professional evolution. Following his dominant victory over Jack Della Maddalena this past weekend, Islam Makhachev has officially overtaken Ilia Topuria and is now ranked as the UFC's #1 pound-for-pound fighter. The result marks a major milestone in Makhachev's career and solidifies him as the most accomplished and universally respected athlete in the sport today. With multiple championship wins, successful title defenses, and victories across 2 divisions, Makhachev has now climbed to the top of the pound-for-pound ladder, a position many fans and analysts have been predicting for months. His performance at welterweight showcased not only technical mastery, but also physical evolution, proving that he is not limited to one division and can dominate the highest level of competition regardless of weight. The pound-for-pound conversation has always been one of the most debated topics in mixed martial arts. It is not simply about belts or victories, but about identifying the fighter who would theoretically beat anyone if weight were not a factor. While the official rankings now list Makhachev as #1, the debate among fighters, fans, and insiders remains active and passionate. One of the most surprising voices to enter this discussion recently was Bryce Mitchell, who gave his own interpretation of what pound-for-pound truly means and why, by his definition, he considers himself the best. Mitchell explained that pound-for-pound, in his mind, represents a world without restrictions or weight limits. He believes that if the concept removes size differences and removes boundaries, then it becomes a question of survival and capability rather than athletic accomplishment alone. He argued humorously, yet seriously, that under such a definition he would be the true pound-for-pound #1 because he could beat any opponent, including heavyweights, by any means necessary. Mitchell said that if there were absolutely no rules, no weight classes, and no limitations, then he would win by whatever method was available, even going as far as saying that he could use firearms in the wilderness to defeat anyone. In his view, that is what pound-for-pound technically means if the term is interpreted literally and without the traditional framework of weight-based competition. While Mitchell's comments were clearly delivered with personality and exaggeration, they highlight how differently fighters interpret the pound-for-pound label. For the UFC and most analysts, Makhachev's resume, skill set, and dominance across weight classes are what earned him the top spot. For some fighters, the concept is philosophical. The discussion undoubtedly fuels entertainment and fuels rivalry, especially as stars across divisions look for legacy and recognition. For now, the official ranking has been settled. Islam Makhachev stands alone at #1, and his pursuit of greatness continues to shape the pound-for-pound conversation. Paddy Pimblett spoke strongly about Justin Gaethje's recent comments regarding the lightweight title picture. He stated that he has great respect for Gaethje and considers him a legend in the sport, but he believes Gaethje's approach to the situation has been uncharacteristic and entitled. According to Pimblett, Gaethje has been doing interviews saying the UFC owes him a title shot and that he deserves it without question. Pimblett felt that nobody in the UFC is entitled to anything and that position must be earned inside the cage. He emphasized that every fighter must continue to prove themselves regardless of past accomplishments. He compared their most recent performances, saying that his last win was in more dominant fashion against a higher-ranked opponent than Gaethje's most recent victory. Because of that, he does not see how Gaethje can automatically claim a guaranteed title opportunity. Pimblett acknowledged Gaethje's legacy and contributions to the company but insisted that legacy alone does not grant a title fight on demand. He added that the lightweight division remains competitive and pointed out that Arman Tsarukyan has also been inactive for an extended period. In Pimblett's view, everyone in the division has to fight for their position rather than waiting for a guaranteed shot based on reputation. Pimblett then shifted to the conversation about his own potential next fight and addressed the possibility of facing Ilia Topuria. He explained that a storyline already exists between them, and that history builds natural anticipation for a matchup. He admitted that he does not like Topuria personally and would rather not see him become a two-division champion, but Topuria winning the belt actually benefits him from a competitive and promotional standpoint. If Charles Oliveira had won, Pimblett believes he would have been required to face a different opponent before earning a title opportunity. With Topuria holding the belt, the history and rivalry are already in place, making the matchup more meaningful. Pimblett expressed confusion as to why a fight between him and Topuria has not been announced yet. He feels the foundation for the fight is already built and that the storyline is strong enough to move directly into a contract. In his perspective, the division needs clarity and movement, and he is ready to play his part whenever the negotiations begin. Dan Hooker and Arman Tsarukyan stood face to face for the first time ahead of their highly anticipated matchup at UFC Qatar. The moment marked the beginning of a tense but respectful rivalry, as both fighters finally came eye to eye after weeks of build-up and speculation. The atmosphere was charged with intensity as cameras, fans, and media captured every second of the stare-down. It was clear from their body language that neither man planned to give an inch. Hooker stood tall and relaxed, projecting confidence earned from years of elite competition. Tsarukyan matched that energy with a calm, collected posture, signaling that he was ready for the biggest test of his career. Officials arranged both fighters into position while the media requested slight adjustments so they could get the perfect shot. The direction was simple, asking them to look straight forward, and for a moment neither fighter blinked or shifted. The tension was visible, not in trash talk or theatrics, but in the quiet intensity that comes when two elite competitors understand what is at stake. The respect between them was clear, but so was the hunger. Hooker has built his legacy through toughness, durability, and an ability to take on any contender at any time. Tsarukyan, on the other hand, represents the new wave of lightweight talent and has made it known he is chasing a title run. The face-off was brief, but it said everything it needed to. Hooker appeared focused and unbothered by the moment, showing no hesitation in making eye contact. Tsarukyan appeared equally confident, almost expressionless, as if mentally walking through the fight before it even happens. Security and UFC officials stood nearby, not because an altercation was expected, but because neither man wanted to be the first to step back. The crowd responded to the intensity and applauded as both athletes finally turned forward for photos. This first face-off provided fans with a preview of the energy heading into fight week. The matchup is intriguing because it represents a clash of eras and styles. Hooker brings high-pressure striking, fight IQ, and extensive big-stage experience. Tsarukyan brings youth, speed, and a versatile wrestling-based arsenal. For both fighters, this bout is critical. A victory could propel Hooker back into the title conversation or solidify Tsarukyan as the next major lightweight contender. As the stare-down concluded, neither man spoke a word, but the message was unmistakable. They are ready for war. And UFC Qatar just became one of the most anticipated fight cards of the season.